Everyone. I'm here dropping Jules, and tonight we have Jose Cortes. Jose, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Jules?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. Thanks for asking. So Jose is here tonight on Dropping Jewels, and he's going to be dropping some jewels on everything real estate, life, and everything in between.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Well, happy New Year. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Been a minute since we've seen each other. It's been since what? Boston.
Since Boston, it's been a while. It's been a while. I can't wait for Squad Up in March.
Squad up.
Yeah, super excited for that.
I need to be re-energized.
Yes, I think we need a little bit to get time to spend with our OC family. So we're
There
looking.
you go.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on. I'm so happy to have you here. We'll go ahead and get started. Tell me a little bit about your real estate journey and how you got started. You're a military guy like myself, Air Force. So yeah, veterans in arms.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
All right. Let's see. So my career. Every time I think back about how to start my story, it's funny because I change where my story or my journey begins.
Mhm.
I think I liked when I started when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
So to kind of age myself a little bit, when I was 19, I was working at a savings and loan, which there's none of those anymore. And I went and moved to work for a credit union where I became a loan processor for mortgages.
Hmm.
And at that time, I was like, I realized that making money in real estate was, something that I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So I had considered getting my real estate license. And long story short, I was taking night classes because I was working during the day, and I really didn't take it seriously because I was not awake. I mean, I think the class was like from 6 to 9 at night or something like that, and I'm up at old dark early. So,
Hmm.
and then get one of those teachers that like Charlie Brown is like wah wah, trying
Yeah,
to stay up that late is just not working.
it's not working. Yeah.
So, needless to say, I took the test, didn't pass. Um, Fast forward to 2008. I started with an infomercial guru
Hmm.
that was teaching how to invest in foreclosures.
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, okay, first thing we want to teach you, see if you can capital raise. We want you to go to your family members and see if you can raise some capital. So I was able to raise a whole whopping $800.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like, woo, I'm rich now.
There you go.
And so I found moved on and got found a first property that I could help
Mhm.
somebody in foreclosure, and then the coaching support just wasn't there.
Mm.
Like I was like, I got these guys on the hook. I'm ready to help them get caught up, and um, I just didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
And the coaches were not calling me back, and these people like, we need you to help. We need you to help. I was like, I understand that, but I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm waiting for my mentor to help me get through
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
So I, basically after like a week of trying to get somebody to help me, said, you know what, this isn't working. I'm sorry, I have to back out. I can't help you because I don't have the experience.
Okay.
So then, back then A&E was had your fix and flip shows on, and
Mhm.
I purchased a mentorship type of package to one of the personalities that were on that show or on that network. Did nothing with that. It was literally just content consumption, and that was about it.
Mhm.
And then let's see, I paid for some coaching in 2013 with a local guru who's a realtor and a coach. Not a very expensive mentorship,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot from her because of the fact that I did get my first property under contract back then.
Mhm.
And for her advice, she came out and she showed me that the house had a buried oil drum, which they don't use
Oh,
anymore in New Jersey, but it's something to be concerned about.
sure.
And the house had like really bad termite damage. And she's like, you don't want this as your first house. This is going to be a nightmare. So she saved me from, myself, and I was able to get out of that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came, fast forward, that's 2013. So 2016,
Mm-hmm.
I got with a local guru here who, that was a joke. I basically paid him a good chunk of money. He gave me his login to Dean Graciosi's online training.
Uh-huh. The mastermind one or which one?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's a blur. I kind of like it. I'm traumatized by it, so I kind of push it in
Maybe
the
kind of
back
block
of
it
my
out.
mind to remember that I spent that kind of money for like no support whatsoever.
Uh,
And yeah, I kept sending this guy, deals that I was getting on the contract, and he kept on saying
mhm,
no, 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 or you know, um, I
mhm,
can't. The one that the straw that broke the camel's back with me help going with this guy for help was one. I had a deal under contract, and he wouldn't bring any of his buyers to help me. And then the very next
oh wow.
deal, he's like, I can't help you. I have another student that's bidding on this. And next thing I know, his other um, student ended up getting that deal. So he was basically taking the deals that I was bringing him because I had negotiated such a great price. And since he knew I didn't have any buyers, he was basically waiting for me to be done
Oh wow.
and then just coming in right behind me and getting it under contract.
Oh my. Okay.
So left that. Then I went to a national guru, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Fortune Builders,
Mm-hmm.
and got some education there. Um, did a few wholesales using their process,
Mm-hmm.
but it just didn't feel right. I had plenty of properties I can get under contract because I was pretty good at negotiating,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't have the buyer pool, and so it was not something that I was able to make profit from. And what I mean
Mm-hmm.
by that is make it sustainable.
Sure.
And what you call it, I was still working at W-2 at the time, which I still am today, but
Mm-hmm.
it was hard to do both at the same
Well,
time.
right.
Because I had a military career, right? So military always takes a lot of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to what was the next one? That's between 2016 and
Mm-hmm.
2021. I had different mentorships in um, Airbnb arbitrage,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I did. No, that was it. Airbnb arbitrage. I did that for 2 years. Luckily, I got out of that right before COVID,
Mm, yes. Yes. Yes.
so I wasn't caught with a very high rent with nobody being able to come into my. So that was
Mm-hmm.
a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2021, I purchased a long term rental in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Congrats.
And then, yeah, that came about because my daughter said she wanted to leave the nest and go to Florida State for college. And I wanted her to have a place where she could live with it wouldn't cost her an arm and a leg. So it was right
Mm-hmm.
between um, Tallahassee Community College and Florida State, about 10, 15 minutes between the two of them.
Oh, great.
And then 2022, I invested into end of 2021, I invested into another mentorship with a personality out of Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the, it's called REI Ace,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned a lot from him. His name is Matt, and to this day, I still on his Thursday night calls because he's constantly morphing himself and coming up with new ways to invest. So I'm always
Awesome.
getting new nuggets from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another mentor that taught me. His name is Jeremy, who taught me how to invest out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And then utilizing his method, I bought 3 properties up in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I picked the wrong contractor, and
Mm-hmm.
the deals went south, and I lost a lot of money on them.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Wow.
And then in August of 2022 and October, no, September of 2022 and October 2022 is when I found Pace Morby,
Mm-hmm.
joined SubTo, became a Gator,
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2024, I joined Owners Club,
Okay.
and I've been investing pretty much ever since. I mean, I liquefied all my assets, trying to bring
Hmm.
everything back home here to Colorado.
Hmm.
Um, I've learned so many different strategies, and right now I'm focused on co-living.
Hmm.
It kind of hits home for me because I have young adults at home that would love to have their own place because they like the independence, but
Hmm.
they're making less than 30 a year in their jobs, and
Right.
where we live, you got to make at least $80,000 to live comfortably.
Sure. Sure.
So the co-living kind of allows people to do that, right? You live
Hmm.
with roommates, and um, pulling that money together, you can actually get it a cheaper rent
Hmm.
instead of having to pay like an enormous crazy amount of a monthly uh, cost for rent.
Cost for the rent. Yeah. So let's take it a step back. So you've been doing this since you were 19, and you've mentioned a lot of challenges along the way, but that didn't stop you.
Right.
I've heard a lot of different mentorships that you've taken bits and pieces from, and you still, attend mats, REIA mats. So along those way, why did you keep going? Like, what made you keep going in real estate, even with the challenges you
Well,
faced?
it's funny because I have walked away from real estate.
Okay.
I walked like so 2017. I did my first fix and flip,
Hmm.
and I partnered with somebody who was not of an ethical person,
Mm.
and they took a second mortgage out on a fix and flip that we did that I wasn't aware of,
Oh, wow.
and that second mortgage basically took all the money that I had invested or I should have gotten back from the deal. So when
Hmm.
the guy closed on the deal, I got nothing from it.
Wow.
I lost all that money
Mm.
to the point where I had to, while working in the military, get a second job to pay
Hmm.
back the money that I had borrowed.
From your lender.
Yep,
Wow.
for that deal.
Hmm.
I did Uber for like a year trying to pay those people back, and luckily I ran into or was introduced to a mortgage broker that allowed me to use the equity in my home to kind of
Hmm.
recoup all of that and pay people back so that I can breathe again and not have to work two jobs.
Right. Right.
Um, so I walked away from it a couple times, but it just the passion's there,
That's there. Yeah. Once you get the
And no
bug.
matter how many
Mhm.
times I tried to ignore it and not want to do it, I mean, there's a reason why you keep coming back. There's
Mhm.
either I'm meant to do it or I'm supposed to do it. I'm a man of faith, and every time I try to walk back, something like pulls me back toward real estate. So
Sure.
I have accepted the fact that God has put me on a path in real estate, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Because if I wasn't supposed to be doing it, I wouldn't enjoy it so much. I wouldn't have such a passion for it. I truly believe that my purpose in life is to help provide affordable housing for people.
That's awesome.
And as you can see in my background there,
Hmm.
purpose over profit. So
Yes.
um, my goal is to try to provide affordable housing for people,
Hmm.
even to the extent where I may not make a huge profit, if any
Hmm.
at all.
Right.
Of course, as a good businessman, I'm always trying to have at least a small profit, but it won't be like if I can make thousands of dollars and make it hard for people, or I can make maybe a couple $100 and make life easy for people. I'll take $100. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Sure.
So that's my goal. That's my purpose in life. I think that's going to be the need from here moving forward for a lot of people.
Yes, yes. I love that you said that purpose over profit. That's really awesome. And co-living, that strategy, and well, I'll have you dig deeper into that. It's definitely a strategy for dealing with the affordability crisis that we're currently experiencing.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is co-living? If you can put it in a simple manner.
It's just kind of a buzzword that they're using now. I mean, it's been in existence forever. Think about when you went to college and you wanted to get an apartment off campus or something like that. People just find roommates, and everybody kind of splits the rent. And basically, that's
Mhm.
what it is.
Right.
The difference is I, as an investor, will buy a single family home
Mm-hmm.
Instead of renting it to one person for what I can get for market rent, what I do is I take each room and break that mortgage up into some kind of number,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's an exact split for the mortgage and not make any money, which is not what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
or charge a little bit where I'm able to cover the mortgage, cover the utilities, so nobody has to come out of pocket for additional
Mm-hmm. Sure.
utilities, and make a little bit of profit for helping people out as well. Um, and so what it does is it allows people to share a kitchen, common areas,
Mm-hmm.
kitchen, living room, dining room. It creates, or the intent is to foster a community, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you almost kind of
Sure.
become a family, or at least a good group of friends, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
if you what's the word I'm looking for? If you vet your tenants properly, right,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
get people with the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has different strategies with this. There's
Sure.
people that do strictly, all male. Some people do all female. Some people
Mm-hmm.
do co-ed. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave it to, let's see how things go. But
Sure.
I think my intent is to um, keep it unisex at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just getting into co-living, and then maybe as I get more experience, allow the co-ed type of properties. I know an operator here in Colorado that does it. Her name's Jackie Polsky.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of my mentors. She's on a coach of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And she has co-eds, and she's like, "There's no problem." She says, in fact, the tenants got along so well that two of them were planning on getting married. So that was kind of interesting
Oh
story that she
wow, that's
shared with me.
great.
So I mean, it can work.
Mhm.
You hear all the negative stuff like people are going to fight, people are going to bicker, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you're focusing on the negative, you're not focusing on the
Mhm.
positive of what you're providing to people.
That's right.
So that's my
Mhm.
long-winded answer of what co-living is.
Mhm. No, I'm glad you explained that, and I certainly think that it helps foster the community, building that friendship. And if you have people, like-minded people within that community, for example, veterans, what I'm focused on,
Right.
and you get them into co-living, it kind of fosters the same thing that they were used to in the military. So I think it's a great
Exactly. You
solution.
go to barracks with a
Yes.
10 beds in one room, right?
Right. Right.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily that aspect, but I mean, you have a common kitchen, right? People can
Yes.
cook for each other, and
Hmm.
camaraderie. Um,
Camaraderie. Yes.
as a veteran myself, I would love to help, be even if it's a small percentage, with
Hmm.
fixing the homeless vet problem that we have in this country.
Yes.
It's sad to me that people that served our country for even a minute, are picking through garbage because they don't,
Hmm.
for whatever reason, don't have the
Mhm.
means to um, buy food or
Mhm.
have a roof over their head. Sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's by circumstance.
Mhm.
And right now, what I do is I volunteer at a local nonprofit. It's called Veterans Community Project.
Awesome.
And we've built 26 tiny homes for
Oh,
homeless vets.
oh, amazing.
Um, I think it's four of which are like built for families.
Okay. Okay.
So, for vets that may be either trying to regain what's we're looking for, uh, not custodial, but visitation with
Mhm.
their children.
Mhm.
It's designed so that it meets the guidelines of the
Mhm.
state, so that they
Mhm.
can have overnights with their children,
Oh,
or
that's
at least
amazing.
have a place for them to come to visit
Mhm.
that's safe and basically state approved.
Mhm.
Um, so that's where I started, and just kind of growing from there with co-living by providing those same type of houses. I plan to partner with that organization to, once people get on their feet,
Mhm.
getting all their benefits that they're entitled to, kind of get their life in order, get
Yes.
if they have a mental um, issues or whatever, and they're ready to, for lack of better terms, graduate from their program,
Mhm.
I can be another place so that they can move to, and then be around fellow vets.
Right.
My goal is to, of course, like I said, homeless vets, but there's so many demographics out there to be helped. You have people that have been human trafficked,
Mhm.
violence victims, children that are aging out of foster care. You have special needs children.
Mm-hmm.
You have our, I like to call the golden girls, people that are older in age but don't need to be in a home or in a
Mm-hmm.
medical facility, but
Mm-hmm.
you could benefit from being around other people their age and just that camaraderie or that human interaction, right? Because maybe their spouse died and then they're living in the house all by themselves.
Yes.
Co-living is a great, solution for that. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg like going to an assisted living facility or
Sure.
nursing home. So
Yeah.
um, that's my goal, is to hit those type of demographics. There's so many more I could probably name off, but those were just to name a few.
For sure. And I mean, it's crazy the amount of different um, segments of different people that you can help. Like you mentioned, human trafficking, domestic violence, sober homes. There's so many different communities that you can help for that co-living can be a solution for. So I love that your heart's in the right place, and it says it all by your purpose over profit, right? So I love that. Love that. Um, so what's the next step for you? So you're an Owners Club. Oh, tell me a little bit about your experience in Owners Club.
Uh, I don't even know how to put that in words. So, I mean, Owners Club was an idea that was presented to me last April at the first annual Squad Up Summit that Pace Morby and Jamil Danji put on. And the way it was presented was, hey, would you like us to help you build your team?
Mm-hmm.
And oh, and by the way, by becoming a member, you'll be a part owner in a title company with me. That was icing on the cake. I just wanted them to.
Your
Pace
partners.
has an operator or a director of operations named Molly. For
Mm-hmm.
those of you that may not be in the community, and she's just a rock star in my book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're going to tell me that you're going to help me find my Mollies, that someone that's going to basically help me build my business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold. That was to me was worth every penny of becoming a member of Owners Club. And since then it's been so much more. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one, I never thought of the caliber of people that I would meet in it. I mean, everybody has a different, diverse background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so many vets that are in that group that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about. The different approaches that people are taking, the different resources that I can get from there. I mean, the list goes on and on, from finding deals to funding deals to buying businesses. I can do it all within with 400 people that I just met. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's been good for me. Like I said, not so much. I mean, especially the relationships that I've gained and fostered through it. But
Mm-hmm.
you're doing this podcast. I started a podcast, which is my
Yeah.
my virtual background,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't have done it because of Owners Club.
Right.
We had a meeting in Boston right around Halloween time, and Pace told us, if you want to create another stream of income, that you should do a podcast. One thing, and everyone's like, well, what content do we use? Like, just interview the people here. You get to know them, find out what they have, what their needs are,
Mm-hmm.
and be done. And so I took that and ran. And because of being consistently, I post like 2 episodes a week, and I'm constantly posting now on Facebook. So I'm being more consistent and more focused and deliberate with my posts.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 months, which is crazy that he said that, because
Yes.
it's right
Wow.
around that same time. Everything is starting to show. I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor here 90 days later, right?
Wow.
I'm,
Amazing.
I'm getting people like wanting to be my friend on Facebook. I'm like, people from the community. I was like, I've been here for 2 years. Nobody want to be my friend. Now all of a sudden people are starting to see me post and stuff, and I'm being visible, and people are understanding what I'm doing. So now all of a sudden people want to be involved in what I'm doing. So
Sure. Yeah.
again, that all came from being in an owners club,
Yes.
right? If I wasn't an owners club, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, which then I would not be reaping the
The
reward
rewards. Mm-hmm.
from those type of things.
Yeah.
You know, I've had the opportunity to find my Molly. It didn't work out. I think I may have an opportunity to find a second opportunity
Mm-hmm.
from another owners club member who has found an operator that she says is a rock star and
Awesome.
that she's willing to share with me because that rock star is building her team out. And I'm like, hey, if you say she's a rock star, let's do it.
That's
Because I
good.
mean, I need somebody that's going to help me build my and scale my business. And she's also willing to partner with me.
Awesome.
The other thing about Owners Club is you can find people that have different resources and knowledge that you can partner with
Mm-hmm.
to help scale and build your business. So from that, from
Mm-hmm.
OC, I've gained a resource to do co-living, single family homes
Mm-hmm.
with no construction, which means not adding rooms um, to maximize, for lack of better terms, cash flow or profit,
Okay.
right? But I've learned how to utilize nonprofits that meet those same demographics that we just mentioned
Yes.
to make sure that my rooms or my houses stay filled.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because of Owners Club, I got to meet a gentleman out of Houston who owns a company called Strata Ventures,
Mm-hmm.
and they focus on ground up co living. So they
Mm-hmm.
actually build to
Oh,
spec. They have multiple different floor plans, but the one that I think I would start with, and I'm planning on starting with, is a 7-to-1,
mm-hmm.
meaning that each bedroom has a bathroom.
Awesome.
And I gonna meet this gentleman in March, right before Squad Up, and go through one of their sites and see if it's something that I'm wanting to move forward with. And if it
Mm-hmm.
is, I'll be not only doing existing buildings with co-living, but I'll also be doing a ground development, which is kind of cool because I never thought I would be a construction guy when it comes to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. I already talked about my podcast, lending. If you would have told me at the age of 19 that I would be in a position to lend to people, I would say you're crazy because I mean I live paycheck to paycheck. How the heck am I going to be able to lend money to
Yes.
people?
Yeah.
And there's a common phrase in the real estate industry, which is OPM, other people's money. So
Mm-hmm.
building relationships, which is what I was doing all last year, is fostering relationships and partnerships
Mm-hmm.
so that I can help people, specifically wholesalers, with
Mm-hmm.
transactional funding, with earnest money
Mm-hmm.
deposits or
Mm-hmm.
double closes. It afforded me the opportunity to help people get into deals, which I wish I knew when I was starting,
Right.
because that was one of the things I didn't have was money for the earnest money deposit. So
Mm-hmm.
if this kind of service was available to me back then, I probably would have closed more deals, and because
Sure.
I would have hopefully knew how to find better buyers, right? Or at least have a partnership or a
Yes.
community like OC to help me find buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'm a workaholic. So if it weren't for OC, I probably would not have taken the 3 vacations that I took technically last year, going to Scottsdale, right?
Uh-huh.
Then we did community camp,
Mm-hmm.
then going to Boston. Those three, I would have been working that whole time, not
Wow.
taking a day off.
Yeah.
But because of that and the commitment that I made to myself in my education and
Mm-hmm.
scaling my business,
Mm-hmm.
OC made me stop work, take some time for myself,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny I say that because when we get together like this, it's technically work, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
we're working on our business,
Yes.
but it doesn't feel like work because
Doesn't
we're
feel like
like
it.
like
Yeah.
like a family. We're having a good time. We're getting educated, but I mean, we're also doing business and growing. And
Yes.
um, I mean, it's just I can't say enough about OC. It saddens me to know that the demographic and the energy may change after Squad Up because I don't know what OC will look like, after
Mm-hmm.
Squad Up because there may be some personnel changing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or at least new people coming on board.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it'll be interesting. It's new people to meet, which is exciting. But again, it's because we were kind of like the first group into it.
Mm-hmm.
See if it has the same vibe or not. And not all vibes are bad. It may be
Right.
different, but still may be good.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yes, thanks for sharing that. And want to bring up a couple points that you mentioned. One, the different things that you have achieved in OC since implementing what Pace was saying, right? So, The key things, consistency, like you said, you're doing 2 podcasts, a week, consistently putting out content, consistently putting yourself out there, and Facebook podcasts. I see your podcast. And not being afraid to post it. I mean, I don't know what held you back, but if we had listened to Pace way back in June when we had the first, where would we be? But here we are today, and we have taken action as imperfect or perfect, probably more likely imperfect, and we're looking to fail forward as we do
Sure.
that. So that's awesome. And then you mentioned the community and family and rock stars that are within OC. So
Yeah.
you mentioned everything that we can get. So, if you want to, you're interested in RV parks, mobile homes, land, whatever it is, lending, buying businesses, everything is there.
Yep.
And everyone's willing to share. I can pick up the phone and call any member and they're ready to help. So that's really, really awesome. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you sharing that. So,
And I didn't have that before.
no, didn't have that
You
before.
know,
I mean, you
I
mentioned,
mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say with all the mentorships that I had before, none of them there was a time limit, right?
Yeah.
Usually 6 months to a year, and
Hmm.
you're basically out of the mentorship, and you should already have all the knowledge and tools you need to
Hmm.
grow and be successful.
Hmm.
This is the first community that there's no timeline. You're in it for life,
Hmm.
and you know, like you said, the resources here are just
This is,
so much in abundance.
yes.
It's just ridiculous.
It is. It is. So you shared that you're in co-living right now and you're helping with affordable housing. Um, what do you need? What can people help you with if
My biggest need, I would say, is long-term private money lenders. I created a community on Fractional, the platform Fractional.
awesome?
It is a place where I am trying to educate people on lending money
Hmm.
or investing into real estate deals,
Hmm.
where I'll bring like an RV park that you can invest in, or an apartment complex, or even maybe just a fix and flip. Um, some people don't know how to, or don't want have the time to learn what I know, and I want to be able to bring somebody who may only have $1,000 to invest,
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
able to grow it.
Sure.
Because when I try to get into like multifamily, it's like if you didn't have 50 to 100K to invest, you couldn't get into these deals. Well, what fractional does for me is it allows me to pull people together. We create an LLC, and now our LLC goes from maybe you have 1,000, I have five, and somebody else has 50. But
Mhm.
after we pull all of our money together, let's say we have 200K. Now we're a major investor into one of these projects, and we get a higher rate and a
Mhm.
preferred return. So it puts us in a more powerful position in negotiating our rate of return back on the money that we're investing.
Mhm.
So where you'd put your same $1,000 in the bank and earn your 0.01%, I can get you into deals now where that same $1,000 is maybe making you $18,000 or $18,000,
Mhm.
18% over, let's say, the next 3 years. Um, so, um, yeah.
That's
Uh,
fractional is pretty
so
pretty
what I'm looking for are people that even the small fries that have money that want to grow it, and private money owners that may are willing to do long term. I've learned that people with W-2s that have maybe 401ks or self-directed IRAs
good.
uh, don't mind the long term, because what they do, they put their money in their
Mhm.
401ks and let it sit there for 5 or 10 years
Mhm.
until they're ready to retire. Well, this way they can invest with me. I can compound that growth so that they can make more money, and and we make money together.
Awesome. Awesome.
So,
Love it because fractional is an investment club.
yeah.
So it's great. It's great. So if somebody wants to reach out to you, Jose, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Um, I'm all over the place. So you can reach me on Instagram at
Mhm.
Jose. It's right there in the corner there.
Okay.
Jose Purpose Over Profit, not profits. I know there's a typo up there, but it's Jose Purpose Over Profit. Same thing on YouTube, or you can Google my channel, Good, Bad, and Ugly. for podcast. Facebook is just my first and last name.
Awesome.
And if you want to shoot me an email, it's jcortez@cortezhomesolutions.com. So
Okay.
those are probably the main ways to get a hold of me. I like to partner with anybody that's willing to do business. And like I said, my goal is to help even most inexperienced investor
Mhm.
be able to invest in deals and watch their money compound and grow. I wish I had somebody that was willing to give themselves like I'm trying to do, because um, my goal is to serve everybody, not just myself. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're such a go-giver. And one last thing, if someone new is watching and they're excited about getting in real estate, or somebody new that just joined SubTo, but they're hitting their head against the wall, what one recommendation you would give to them?
so one, geez,
Just one, just one.
I would say, which is kind of what I did indirectly,
Hmm.
good or bad, is find somebody that is doing what you're wanting to do
Hmm.
and being successful at it,
Hmm.
and see if you can partner or have them mentor you, right? And you can learn something from being a partner with somebody because you're going through the process with them.
Sure.
But people need that handheld,
Hmm.
see if they're willing to mentor you on the
Hmm.
process.
Yes.
Even with my years of experience and me getting into co-living, I have asked another owners club member to, for lack of better terms, hold my hand,
Hmm.
teach me their way of doing co-living. I
Mm.
know at least three, technically four different ways to implement the
Hmm.
strategy and be
Hmm.
successful at it.
It's awesome.
And so, yeah, just be willing to partner with people and be open minded. Just because you think you may know how to do something doesn't mean that you can't learn a new way, or even maybe a more improved way, that's shorter, cheaper, and
Hmm.
faster. So I guess that'd
Oh,
be the technically one
yeah.
um, tell people to do, because again, I've had some bad partnerships, but I didn't really vet the person as well as I should have. But
Hmm.
I see the value in partnerships.
And partnerships, you mean? But just be careful. Vet them out first. So.
For sure. Like I said, make sure they're doing what you're doing, make sure they're successful at what you're doing.
Mhm.
And then of course just vet them, see if they've partnered or worked with other people, because even the well-known people are not necessarily the best partners to have. I've can indirectly say that there are people that I thought were um, people of integrity, and then talking to
Mhm.
people that have worked with them
Mhm.
have shed a different light on the way they conduct business. And it's sad to me to think that I looked up to those people or would consider partnering with them until I found that
Mhm.
information out. So
Yeah, yeah, that's sad. That's sad. Oh wow! So a lot of jewels you dropped here for us, from from your starting in real estate and everything, and mentorships, getting started with Squat Up, through Squat Up, SubTo, Gator, OC, moving forward to co-living. Wow! And the reasons why we should do that. I just want to thank you so much for
thank you
joining
for having
us.
me. This is awesome. I appreciate you inviting me. All the people in the world, and I get an invite, so I feel special.
Yes, you are. You are very special. Of course, military, Air Force vet. So you're near and dear to
There you
my
go.
heart. And I want to thank you so much for coming on. And anyone watching, please reach out to Jose. He has a heart of gold, and he's doing amazing things in the co-living space. And we'll definitely have him back here to give us an update. And we look forward to having him on another episode of Dropping Jules. So thank you so much, Jose, for joining
Yeah, I
us.
look forward to coming back.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.